Good afternoon, students. Thank you, Ubeke Azaya. We thank you for being the first to join the platform for this lecture. Thank you very much. So today is week 2 of our lecture, Bio 101. The week 2 of our lecture. Last week we did week 1. So this week also we are entering week 2, and I hope others will join so that we can do this lecture and prepare us for another week. So last week we did diversity of life, organization of life, properties of life, characteristics of living things and non-living things. We had defined living things, we defined non-living things, and what are those characters that make things to be living. We discussed it last week. We also give an acronym, Mr. D. Niger, to be able to list and discuss the characteristics of living things. We say that M stands for movement, R for reproduction, D for death, N for nutrition, I for irritability, G for growth, E for excretion, and R for respiration. That's what we did last week. We gave examples of living things and we gave examples of non-living things. As week 1 of our lecture, we now define certain terms we see in the environment. We define habitat, we define species, we define the ecosystem, we define population, etc. So today we are going to enter week 2, and what we are going to do in week 2 is one diagram of. We look at microscope. What is a microscope? It's an equipment that enables us to see those organisms we cannot see with our naked eyes. That's the microscopic organisms. We use microscope to view them. Then I just wish that others should join. Let me remind them the lecture has started. I'm writing it on the chat. The lecture has started so that others can join. The lecture has started by 3 p.m. so that others can join us immediately. Let no person waste time. So we looked at the microscope. I said that microscope is an equipment that enables us or help us to be able to view those organisms we cannot see with our naked eyes. You remember that microscope was discovered by Leeuwenhoek. So it's the Leeuwenhoek that discovered the microscope. So with the aid of microscope, you'll be able to see parasites like Plasmodium parasites that cause malaria. The Plasmodium parasite. This parasite is carried by mosquito. So with the aid of microscope, you'll be able to view those parasites to be able to say whether somebody is having malaria or not. That's what microscope help us to do, to look at bacteria, to look at virus. They have different types of microscope. You have a simple microscope, you have compound microscope, you have ultrasonic microscope, complex microscope. So you have even binocular. These are different types of microscopes that we have. So we have complex microscope. Those ones, electronic microscope, those ones enable you to see very tiny organisms. You can just touch them. So you can just get the microscope, and then you'll be able to see what you are looking for. So microscope is very, very important in our everyday life. Very, very, very important. So if we use simple microscope to to demonstrate what we are looking for. We use simple microscope to demonstrate the study of microscope. So these ones have a stand. You have to place it on something. So that is the stand. Then why are people not joining this lecture? What is happening to our students? They are not joining. Let me see why our students have not joined. You cannot minimize when you are okay. Okay. So we need to know why most of them are not have not joined the lecture. I just hope that they will join so that we can be working together. Isaiah Ubeke, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Why have others not joined?
I'm totally confused. I don't even know.
I think you saw the link from your mail and then you joined through that, oh? Or through the platform.
No, I joined through the e-lesson.
Okay, so maybe we will still continue. Okay, many are joining. So if you look at a simple microscope, it has a stand because you need to keep it on the bench. So that area is the stand. Then it has a handle of which you are going to handle it. Then it has a mirror. Then you have the eyepiece. Then you have other parts which you need to study. We're not going to mention everything. So one of the assignments I'm going to give you is to draw and label a simple microscope so that we'll be able to know these parts very, very well. You have to know all the parts of microscope. You have to know even the handle, the eyepiece, the lens, then the stand. Do you understand? So work all these things. Draw a very nice simple microscope. So for simple microscope, you can just carry it with your hand and come out. Once the day is there and the sun is shining, you can see. You just manipulate the arrow. Once you manipulate the arrow, then you'll be able to observe or see what you are looking for. That is for simple microscope. For compound microscope, we have is more complex than simple microscope. And then, of course, those ones uses electricity. This simple microscope don't need to use electricity. You can just use sunlight. Compound microscope, you use electricity. Then all this electronic microscope, electron microscope, very complex form of it. Then some microscope can even be observed in your laptop. Once you connect it to your laptop, anything you put on the slide and put under the eyepiece, you can see it on your slide. So those ones are advanced microscope. So these are what we are talking. So you have to draw microscope, look at the functions of all the parts of microscope. So when you draw it, then you now give us the functions like a handle. What is the function of the handle? What is the function of the eyepiece? What is the function of the tube? What is the function of the stand? What all those parts of the microscope, you have to tell us their functions. This is what I want you to do and get back to me in the next lecture. I hope you are following. Now, the next thing we are going to look at is cell. You know, we have talked of cell before. That cell is the building block of organisms. That the building block of organism is the cell. Just like as block is the building unit of any building. The building unit of any organism, whether it is plant or animal, is the cell. The cells present in plants are called plant cells, while the cells present in animals are called animal cells. You have to note that this is very, very important. And if the organism dies, the plant cell, the cell in that plant will die. So you need to know that the what gives life to every organism is the what? The cell. So cells present in the plant cell are called plant cells, while cells present in the plant are called plant cells, while the cells present in animals are called animal cells. So cells are very, very important. So also in our primary secondary school, we know the diagram of plant cell, we know the diagram of animal cell. I want you also to draw them. You draw a plant cell, you draw an animal cell. I hope you can do that very well. Draw plant cell, draw animal cell. Is there a assignment I'm giving you? The first assignment I've given you is to draw the diagram of microscope, label all the parts, and give us the functions of the different parts of the microscope. The second assignment I'm giving you is to draw an animal cell and draw a plant cell. Then let's look at the functions of the different parts of this plant or animal cell. Now, if it is a plant cell, the outermost covering is cellulose cell wall. What is the function of cellulose cell wall? It gives what? Protection to the what? To the cell. So cellulose cell wall gives what? Protection to the cell. Plant cells have cellulose cell wall, but animal cells do not have cellulose cell wall. You have to know that this is very, very important. Plant cells have cellulose cell wall, while animal cells do not have cellulose cell wall. So the function of the cellulose cell wall is to give what? Protection to the cell. Do you understand? So very, very important. So when you will be giving me the things, when you want to write a cellulose cell wall, what you follow is what? Is a protection that it gives what? Protection. Yes. I hope you are following me. So that is that. Then following the cellulose cell wall is what? The cell membrane. Following after the cellulose cell wall, the next thing is the cell membrane. Then what is the function of cell membrane? It also gives protection. In animal cell, the outermost covering is not cellulose cell wall, but the outermost covering is what? Cell membrane. But this cell membrane is also present in plant cell. So the cell membrane also functions for what? As protection. And it also helps in movement of materials into and out of the wall of the cell. So it's very, very, very important. So we have to know this, that the cell membrane is very, very important. I hope you understand. Now, after the cell membrane, what you now meet is what? The cytoplasm of the cell. After the cell membrane, the next thing you meet is what? The cytoplasm of the cell. What you meet is what? The cytoplasm of the cell. So, and the cytoplasm is like a classroom that contains other cell inclusions. So the cytoplasm is like the classroom that contains seats, that contains students, that contain bag, that contain maybe broom, that contain your desk and other things. I hope you understand. So that is what the cytoplasm does. So that function of the cytoplasm is that it is a kind of medium that contains other cell inclusions. Then after the cytoplasm, the next one we are going to look at is what? The nucleus. Every cell, every living cell has nucleus. And it is the nucleus that makes that cell to be living, to survive. If you remove the nucleus, the cell will collapse. So, and remember that plant cell has nucleus, animal cell has what? Nucleus. Very, very important. And we know that nucleus is the what? Is the area or the part of the cell that contains what? The chromosomes. Is the part of the cell that contains the what? The chromosomes. And it is the chromosomes that contains what? The genes, which transfer characters from parents to what? Offspring. Very, very important that you should know that. So, and the nucleus is very, very important because if you remove the nucleus, the cell is dead. So note it when you will be giving us the functions or the different parts of the cell. The nucleus is very, very important. And once you remove the nucleus, the cell will automatically die. Now, after the nucleus, what follows after the nucleus is Afternoon. Oh, the man will lecture. Oh, here now. Atinyego ya, atinyego aha ya, atinyego aha ya.
Let's speak English.
Okay. Okay. My notes not here yet. So return it. Okay, so yeah, we are still working. Thank you, Jibrin. Jibrin has entered. So maybe after. Now, after the nucleus, of course, I told you that the nucleus contains the chromosomes, and the chromosomes contains the genes, and it is the gene that transfer character from parents to offspring. So for you to, if you have a baby now, that baby will resemble you. What makes that baby to resemble you is that there is gene inside you as the father. There's gene inside your wife as the mother. So that when you have the baby will now contain character that resemble you. It will contain your own character and the character of your wife. So that is what you find in your child. Sometimes the child become a replica of yourself or a replica of your wife, because what's doing this is the gene, even though you cannot see it with our naked eyes. But with the microscope, it is possible for us to to study the gene. Now, after the nucleus, then you can have mitochondria. That's something we call mitochondria. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria is the powerhouse. That's where energy is what stored. Is the center for respiration. Center for what? Respiration. For
Yes,
hair. So that is the mitochondria. It generates the energy in form of ATPA. In form of ATP. Do you understand? So it's very, very important that you note that. Now, after the mitochondria, then you have the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is like something that you find outside the nucleus, surrounds the nucleus. And this endoplasmic reticulum contains what we call the ribosomes. And these ribosomes are for protein synthesis. It helps in protein synthesis. That is manufacture of protein. Then you also have vacuum. You have vacuum. Vacuum is for removal of waste material, waste product of metabolism. But what we notice that in plant, the vacuum is large, but in animals, the vacuum is small. So take this as one of the differences between plant cell and animal cell. In animal cell, the vacuum is small, but in plant cell, the vacuum is large. Then also, there is something we also notice on something we call chloroplast. The chloroplasts are contained in the plant cell. So any plant cell have what? Chloroplast. But the animal cell do not have chloroplast. So what is the function of the chloroplast? The chloroplast is used for what? Photosynthesis. You only find it in plant cell, but you don't find it in animal cell. That is one of the differences between a plant cell and I hope you understand. Another difference is that a plant cell is large, while an animal cell is small. So a plant cell relatively is larger than animal cell. These are some of the differences you have to notice between plant cell and animal cell. We're also taking the functions of the cell components. Then you also have what we call the, the, the lysosomes. The lysosomes are present in animal cell. It's a kind of suicide bag where materials can be engulfed and then digested. So we call it lysosomes. I hope you understand.
The network is great. Can you share this so that we can see everything, sir?
Yes, yes. I tried to share it, but let me share it. So these are simple things that the parts of the plant cell and animal cell. Then the next question is, what are the differences between plant cell and animal cell? The differences are large. In fact, I want you to list 10 differences between plant cell and animal cell. In your assignment, list 10 differences between plant cell and animal cells. 10 differences. I will mention some, then I will allow you to do the rest. Hello. Afternoon. Eh?
So how do we do this thing now?
And I'm lecture, and I'm online lecture. So, I was talking of the 10 differences between plant cell and animal cell. 1, plant cell is large, while animal cell is small.
Please, just
2,
give submit it.
plant cell contains cellulose cell wall, while animal cell do not contain cellulose cell wall. 3, plant cell contains chloroplast, while animal cell do not contain chloroplast. 4, plant cell, what other things? Okay, I've given you 4, complete it to 10. Do you understand? Then what are the similarities? Both of them contain nucleus, both of them contain mitochondria, both of them contain cytoplasm, both of them.
Please share your screen.
It's like you don't hear what I say. I will share my screen, but understand this lecture first. You have broken the trend I'm using to teach now. You have broken.
We are going to see better. So you can be seeing what they are showing, what they are saying.
Sir, please share your screen for us to understand. The previous class, you did not share your screen for us. Even this one, so you don't want to share for us again.
I'll look at cell theory. So you have stopped me from giving the similarities. So complete the similarities for yourself. Complete the differences for yourself. I need 10 differences and 10 similarities. So complete that one for yourself. We are going to another subtopic, which is the cell theory. We go to another subtopic called cell theory. Cell theory. Cell theory is propounded by prominent scientists. Cell theory was propounded by prominent scientists that developed the theory. And what is he talking about? What is this cell theory is talking about? If in the exam I ask you to state the cell theory, how are you going to state it? 1, a cell is a unit of and function of life. A cell is a unit of structure of life. A cell is a unit of function of life. And wherever a cell exists, there must be a previously existing cell. In other words, cell come from previously existing cell. Cell cell. That's what's on the cell theory. A cell, wherever a cell is, there must be a pre-existing cell. This is what we call cell theory. I repeat, cell theory says that 1, a cell is the unit of structure of life.
Please,
2,
you guys should mute your
the unit of function of life. And
please, your network is glitching. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. I was talking of the cell theory. Yeah, people have they don't want to mute yourself. They are making noise. Thompson could not mute himself. He making noise. Ubong can did not mute himself. He still, I can hear the noise from the background.
I'm hearing you, sir. Can you mute us? Can you mute everybody, sir? Please.
Okay. Let's continue with cell theory. I said that cell theory was a theory that was founded by prominent scientists. And they propounded what we call cell theory. And if we now ask you to state the cell theory, state the proposition of the cell theory. I say the cell theory states that 1, all living organisms are made up of cells. A cell is a unit of structure and function of life. And wherever a cell exists, there must be a previously existing cell. Very simple. 1, a cell is a unit of structure. As I told you that blocks are units of building.
So theory.
If you want to build a house, you have to gather blocks and put blocks on top of another before you can build a house. That is the structure. For human being also, our cells are the thing that build up. So a cell is a unit of structure of life. Then second, a cell is the unit of function of life. So you need to breathe. For you to breathe, it is the cell, inside the cell, that this breathing mechanism takes place.
Please, can
If you
you
want to
guys just
reproduce,
shut up?
it is
Please,
the
just shut up and concentrate.
if you want to reproduce, it is the cell where reproduction, a unit of cell that carries out this reproduction. Even for you to respond to stimulus, when somebody touches you with a pin, it is the cell that reacts. Or if you go out in the sun, it is the cell that reacts. If there is heat in the house, it's the cell that reacts that makes you to put on fan or that makes you to put on your AC. So a cell is a unit of structure of life. A cell is a unit of function of life. And then the last one is that wherever a cell exists, there must be a previously existing cell. What is he talking about? That cell begets cell. That cell does not fall from heaven. That a cell gives rise to that cell. This is what you should know about the cell. So if I now ask you to state the cell theory, will you be able to do that? Yes. The cell theory states that 1, a cell is the unit of structure of life. 2,
Yes,
a cell is the unit of function of life. And 3, a cell begets cell. Or wherever a cell exists, there must be a previously existing cell. So that is the cell theory. Then the question is, who are the scientists that propounded that cell theory? Who are the scientists that propounded the
This is the
cell
last
theory?
one. Sorry, the last one you said. I couldn't hear what you said.
You mean the last cell theory?
Yes, the last cell theory.
I said that a cell gives rise to another cell, that a cell begets cell, or wherever there is a cell, there must be a previously existing cell. Did you get that? Did you get that?
No, sir.
yes,
Your
yes,
network
yes.
is glitching. Your network is glitching. I couldn't get it.
Okay. I
A
say
cell is a
we
unit
want
of
to mention those scientists that developed the cell theory. That's what we are going to do now. We want to give the names of those scientists that developed the theory. You must know the name of those scientists. Very, very important. I hope you understand. The first person is Robert Hooke. All of you say Robert Hooke.
Robert who?
What is the spelling of Hooke? H-O-O-K-E.
K-E.
Do you understand?
Yes,
Robert
sir.
Hooke is in
Hello.
fact, Robert Hooke is regarded as the father of the cell. He's today regarded as the father of the cell. Just like that, like Mendel is regarded as the father of genetics. And who is the father of evolution? Who is the father of evolution?
Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin. So
You guys should mute.
just as Darwin is the father of evolution,
have.
Mendel is the father of genetics, and the father of cell is what? Robert Hooke. So Robert Hooke is the second person that propounded the cell theory. The next person is Felix Dujardin. Felix Dujardin. All of you say Felix Dujardin.
Felix
I will spell Dujardin. Dujardin is D-U-R-J-A-D-I-N. Felix Dujardin. Felix Dujardin. Yes. Dujardin. That's the second person that propounded the cell theory. Then the next person is Matthias Schleiden. Matthias Schleiden, yes. Matthias Schleiden. Remember, the first person was Robert Hooke. Then the second person is what? Felix what? Dujardin. Felix Dujardin. The third person is what? Matthias what?
You said it's Matthias something.
Schleiden. 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 Schleiden.
D-E what?
D-I-N. Matthias
Please, sir, can you start afresh?
D-E-N. D-E-N. Shiledi.
D-E-N.
Robert Hook. Felix Dujardin. Matthias Shiledi. Then
Sorry,
number
you
4.
don't waste on that time today.
Number 4.
Why did you tell
Number
her?
4.
Oh,
Theodore Schwann. Theodore Schwann.
Thank you. Thank you for the fish. He said you bought fish. Thank you, sir. Yes.
You buy fish, can you meet yourself?
It's still you guys should
Number
meet
4
yourself.
is Theodore Schwann. Theodore, what's the spelling of Theodore? Theodor. Theodore. Then Schwann.
Theodore
Chawaan.
what?
Theodore Schwann. Theodore Schwann.
Don't collect money.
You guys should mute your mic, please.
Sir, can you spell that one?
Thank you so
Theodore
much.
Schwann. Theodor.
Okay.
Theodore.
Please, can you guys just shut up? Just shut
Schwann.
up for once and
Schwann
listen.
is
Use your ear and listen.
SCHWAAN. Is it difficult for people to
Please, can you
mute themselves? Or do you want me to mute all of you automatically?
Sir, you can mute
It's
all
better, it's
everybody.
better.
At times,
Mute everybody.
Better,
yes,
sir,
you
don't
ask us
talk.
to put us
Abeg.
first. Everybody would like to put mouth.
If I
If
mute
we
this,
mute
then we will not
ourselves,
be
we'll
able to
still talk.
interact. So that's my
Sir,
worry,
please
muting all of
mute.
you.
Sir, please mute us.
Look at this
So
one.
you
Look
want
at
us
this
to
one
talk
showing a
together
picture,
now?
showing naked picture to me. What type of
Sir,
lecture?
please, can you mute everybody? Mute
Bright
everybody.
Femi,
When it's
This women,
did
they
you see
so
what
this
we're
one
showing?
when you
women, they
want
so
us to
naked
interact,
picture here
you
now.
allow everybody to talk. You are mute us.
Ah, now, wow. Okay, we'll continue.
Please, sir,
Let me
please,
just
can you please,
thank you very much. Some people are using their picture to embarrass
sir,
me.
mute them, mute
So we'll continue with the lecture. So
Don't mind this, sir.
we, are,
Not
we,
bring
we,
them
are,
for me.
we are studying biology, so they
of
can
course,
use
I
picture.
think we are
Please
studying
mute all
biology.
of them or mute
We are
everybody.
studying
Yeah,
biology
we
now.
are studying biology, so we want to know the biology aspect of life. I agree with you well.
Can use them as spacemen.
Study biology,
We
but
can
it's
use
not
them
a
as
practical
spacemen.
biology, please.
Okay, can we
Remember,
continue?
it's not a practical biology.
Can we
Let's
continue?
continue.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can
so
continue.
Okay. The last name I said was what? Can you remember it?
Theodore Schwann.
Theodore
Theodore Schwann.
Schwann.
Very good. And the final name is Rudolf.
Rudolph. Yes.
Rudolf von Virchow.
Hey,
Rudolf
wow.
von Virchow. Rudolf. Rudolf. Then von Virchow. Von VON. Virchow.
Sir, you are very fast in spelling.
VIRCHW. Rudolf von Virchow. That's a German scientist. Rudolf von Virchow. These 5 people propounded the cell theory, and you need to know them. They are very, very important. The first person is Robert Hooke. Second person is Felix Dujardin. The third person is Matthias Schiledi. The fourth person is Theodor Schwann. And the fifth person is Rudolf von Virchow. They propounded the cell theory. And what the cell theory says that every living organism is made up of cell. And a cell is the unit of structure of life. And a cell is the unit of function of life. And wherever a cell exists, there must be what? A previously existing. Thank you very much. That is all we know about cell theory. The lecture is very simple. Some of you are shouting, share screen, share screen. I wanted you to understand the lecture before I begin to share. And thank God that we're able to go through the lecture. First of all, I have to go through the lecture once more. summarize. I want to use 5 minutes to summarize. We have about 5 minutes. I want to use the 5 minutes to summarize. Today we discussed about microscope. And we say that microscope is an equipment that enables us, that aid us, and help us to see those organisms we cannot see with our naked eyes. What we call microorganisms. So that microscope help us to see microorganisms like what? Bacteria, protozoa, like viruses. We can only see them through the use of what? Microscope. I hope you understand. Even this our gene, some observe what you cannot see in our body through the use of microscope. You understand? If you have any if your urine is contaminated, once the urine is got put under the microscope, if there's any organism in your body that is causing any problem, you see it in the urine, just like blood. Now, from there we look at the function of a microscope. We say we must draw the structure of microscope, label them, and give the functions of different parts of microscope. And of course, we have different types of microscope. You have simple microscope, you have compound microscope, you have electronic microscope. You understand? Then you even have a stereo microscope, very complex microscope. You have them. Then, but the one we are going to use is the simple microscope, simple light microscope, which may not be connected to electricity. You just have to use it that for us to explain. Then the next one is we look at cell. We say you have plant cell, you have animal cell. Then the components of the cell. I say if it is a plant cell, the outermost covering is cellulose cell wall, followed by what? Cell membrane, followed by what? The cytoplasm, followed by the nucleus, followed by the mitochondria, followed by what? The endoplasmic reticulum, followed by the ribosome, followed by what? The Golgi apparatus, followed by what? The chloroplast, if it is a plant cell. All this followed by the vacuum. All these inclusions are in the what? The cytoplasm of the cell. Very, very important. Then you are now supposed to give the functions of this part. What is the function of cell wall for protection? What is the function of middle lamella? Is for protection too and allow materials to pass through the cell. What is the function of cell membrane? Is for exchange of materials in the cell. What is the function of cytoplasm? It is the medium that contains other inclusions in the cell. What is the function of nucleus? Nucleus is the life wire of the cell. You give life to the cell because it contains the chromosomes that contains what? The genes that transfer character from parents to what? Offspring. So that is the function of nucleus. What of the endoplasmic reticulum? With the ribosome surrounding it, it is the area where proteins are synthesized. What of mitochondria? Is the energy center. Is the energy center of the cell where ATP are manufactured. What is the function of chloroplast? Help in photosynthesis. What is the function of ribosomes? Help in cell divisions, etc. Then I'll now ask you to list 10 differences between plant cell and animal cell. You are going to do this assignment too. 10 differences between plant cell and animal cell. And also list 10 similarities. What are those things that they have in common? Both of them have nucleus, both of them have cytoplasm, both of them have cell membrane, both of them have Golgi body, both of them have mitochondria, both of them have what? Ribosomes, etc. So we are going to give 10 similarities and 10 differences between plant cell and animal cell. Then we now went to cell theory. We said that cell theory was a kind of theory propounded by eminent scientists. And the theory states that every living organism is made up of cells. And second, cell is the unit of structure and function of life. And third, wherever a cell exists, there must be a previously existing cell. These are the cell theories. 3 of them. Every living organism is made up of cells. A cell is the unit of structure and function of life. And wherever a cell exists, there must be a previously existing cell. Then we say that 5 scientists that contributed to development of this theory. 1 is Robert Hook. 1 is what? Robert Hook. 2 is what? Felix Dujardin. Felix Dujardin. 3 is what? Matthias Schleiden. Matthias Schleiden.